After being written off by many, Tesla's comeback story is launching into an AI-powered chapter that could reshape everything you thought you knew about the company. What if the most undervalued AI stock isn't Nvidia, but Tesla, and Wall Street is only just waking up to it?
Everything that we're talking about today is accurate, that the investment case for Tesla is all about on what's to come. And the reality is that in order for that future to become a reality, you have to have a lot of money to do that. That $41 billion compares to GM and Ford, each have about $23 billion. So that was one of my takeaways, that they've got a lot of money to see this forward. There were a couple negatives that I picked up on. One was relative to the FSD miles driven. So they don't give the exact number, but they give a chart, and you can kind of angle into what it was driven. The incremental miles are about 1.1 billion in September. That's the same as what it was in June. It was 0.7 billion in March. So you would, if that was at some inflection point, you would start to see that ramping a little bit more. And last, I think it's 90% chance that that more affordable vehicle is already out. It's the Model Y and Model 3, based on some language in the deck. We'll hear more on the call. But overall, Melissa, the biggest takeaway is this is still a story about do you believe, and they got plenty of cash to see that future forward.
Mm-hmm. You though think the stock is going to hover around where it is for the rest of the year, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, it comes down to still waiting for these breakpoints. And I think one of the beautiful things about investing in Tesla is that the community and the investing community is so conditioned for misses when it comes to Elon and expectations. It is, they said FSD in some regions by the end of this year. That's probably not going to happen. But yet, if they do if one of these things start to break in a direction by the end of the year, for example, more cities, they've talked about 2, potentially additional 10 cities with robo-taxi, that's going to be the lever to the stock. I think it comes down to a very simple question is, do you believe that Tesla is a pole position with physical AI? And if that is the case, you just need to own it because it's hard to predict when these moments are going to pop out.
Gene, Tim, so, right, you believe, and $41 billion seems like of all the numbers that they've reported today, you don't care about gross margin, you care about they have the ammunition to do whatever it takes. What does that make the stock worth today? And I know that's not fair. And again, a DCF is definitely not something I think you're trying to attach it with. I appreciate where you are on the upside and why I don't want to be too cute. But if someone's looking at the stock today and saying, what's it worth, can you throw a number on that?
So you have to look at it where the growth is going to be. And right now it's trading at about a 13 revenue multiple. So compare that. Usually it's been kind of around where Apple's at. Apple's at a 9 revenue multiple. And so it's an order of magnitude ahead of where that's at. And so the simple takeaway is that if you use like traditional ways of thinking about stock and evaluation, this is overvalued. If you take a perspective that they're going to have a breakout and the rest of the companies, I actually think that the GM news today was affirming of Tesla's lead on autonomy. But if you take that, you can have multiple years of high growth, 30, 40% growth. And so the simple answer is that this is like, we've been in uncharted territory with this stock for a couple of years. We continue to be in that. And no, there's not historical or comp group valuation support. But yes, there is when you think about the moment we're in when it comes to